Hey everybody, welcome back to another midweek episode. So have you ever heard or spoken the words, you just need to forgive yourself? I don't know about you, but for some reason those words strike me wrong. It makes me stop and wonder, is that what we're supposed to do? Are we supposed to forgive ourselves? Is that the way that the Bible talks about forgiveness? Because the Bible talks a lot about forgiveness. In fact, it's central to the biblical story. But how does the Bible talk about forgiveness? Forgiveness always involves two parties. Like, think of the words of the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And so God forgives us, and as he does, he invites us to forgive others. But look through the pages of Scripture, and nowhere does it say that we are to forgive ourselves. In fact, when the focus is on forgiving yourself, guess who's left out? I would argue that you no longer need Jesus. And the way that the Bible focuses on forgiveness is it fixes the focus firmly on Jesus. Jesus is the one who forgives us. Now, I know there are times where we struggle with guilt. There are times where we find ourselves beating ourselves up over our past mistakes. And what do we do when we find ourselves in a place like that? On the one hand, conversation with someone else that we trust can be helpful, whether it's a counselor or a parent or a friend or a pastor. But hear me out on this. You can't forgive yourself. You know, a friend of mine once said that telling a friend to forgive themselves is like telling a dying person to heal themselves. You can't do that. Healing only comes from the outside. Forgiveness only comes from the outside. Only Jesus forgives us. And when we find ourselves struggling to forgive ourselves, we need to point people to Jesus. To Jesus, the one who forgives us. And the place where he forgives us is in the waters of holy baptism. You know, I think of the words from the hymn, God's Own Child, I Gladly Say It. The words of verse 2 are so powerful. Sin, disturb my soul no longer. I am baptized into Christ. I have comfort even stronger. Jesus' cleansing sacrifice. Should a guilty conscience seize me, since my baptism did release me, in a dear forgiving flood, sprinkling me with Jesus' blood. You know, Martin Luther struggled with guilt. And he recognized that Satan was the one who was attacking him. And in response to the attacks of Satan, what did he do? He pointed to Jesus suffering and death on the cross for the forgiveness of his sins. He didn't forgive himself. He let Jesus be the one that forgave him. So, the next time you hear somebody say, you just need to forgive yourself, or you find yourself saying to someone else, you really just need to forgive yourself. No, you don't. You can't forgive yourself. But Jesus has, and Jesus does forgive you. Trust that today. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time.